Hello Pisces, Pisces rising and Pisces moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for August 2017. And just a quick update for everybody. I'm actually doing a special video on the Uranus retrograde later on this week, so stay tuned for that. It's a very special type of energy that's going on. It's the last time Uranus will be retrograde in Aries, exclusively committed to Aries in that energy for a long time. So I do want to devote a whole video to that. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with the astrology this month? Well, for right in the beginning, we do need to talk about some leftover energies that are very much alive and well. We've got Venus in Cancer up until the 26th of the month in your 5th house of love, romance, pleasure, your relationships with your kids. And Venus is bringing a lot more sweetness into these areas of your life. If we feel like things have maybe not necessarily been as sweet, maybe relationships have felt a bit more like business as usual, maybe we've been feeling like we've been becoming distant from one of our children, Venus is starting to bring an opportunity for more of those more generous, more affectionate gestures to be exchanged. We also have Venus working like a bit of a romance magnet for a lot of you single Pisces people out there. You may be actually finding that you're able to finally grab and hold the attention of your intended. And even if your intended is already your partner, if you feel like, again, there's been a drift, too much of that business as usual kind of energy, Venus is kind of putting you as, in their spotlight, so to speak. And so we've got a really nice opportunity to not only sweeten the relationship, but to also kind of get things a little bit more affectionate and get things, just a bit more blissful in this area of your life in the first few weeks of the month. We've also got Mars in Leo in your 6th house of work, reputation, and physical health. And it looks like a very important ally is going to be showing up when it comes to helping you actually bolster your reputation or the strength of your reputation, whether it's at work, helping you get into more competitive circles, win a competition, or maybe even take care of some important tasks or some important project that you've got working on. If you feel like you're approaching some scary deadlines, you've been handed some workloads that are really, really hard to handle, biting off more than we can chew, Mars is sending in help. Mars always sends in a defender for us. Mars is also going to be working you over in a lot of ways, because when Mars is in the 6th house, we do tend to see us going into, again, much more competitive territory. When you may be finding yourself in situations where everything becomes a competition, but you're getting introduced to a lot of competitions you could win. And this is always about a lesson about putting yourself out there, being more extroverted and involved in this sense. I know the words extrovert and introvert are the new fad phases, but I'm talking about the dictionary sense, not the Facebook sense. Also, with Mars in the 6th house, it's a wonderful time for anyone who's trying to do something, with their physical shape, especially if you are trying to become more athletic, more active, working on anything to do with muscle tone, joints, mobility, core strength, all of those kinds of things. Mars is really, really giving you a lot more of that fitness edge boost this month. So very, very powerful. When we get into the month proper, on the 7th, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius. Alright, this is in your 12th house of your past, your privacy, and your hidden zone. And when we have an eclipse, or any full moon, but in this case a full moon lunar eclipse, remember we have we have an issue in the 12th house that needs to be dealt with. The 12th house is kind of our yearly breakdown, breakthrough full moon. Every time there's a full moon in somebody's 12th house, we do kind of go into like a kind of place. And I've had mine already. This is an eclipse, though, so it's going to be something that actually is very, very personal and powerful. Lunar eclipses bring endings, and there may be an ending to a situation relating to your past that you are not ready to let go of. And the story begins, it seems, around the 7th, but that energy is with us all the way through early November when it's in its prime. The prime is the first 3 months, and then the lesser energy, it kind of taper off after that. And with the lunar eclipse here, you may be having to deal with a situation where something is let go or something comes to an end. You may not have even had a good relationship with whatever this subject is. This could be a place, this could be, like the family home, this could be This could honestly even be a person, or a job. We're ending something that we don't, and this is something that we're meant to let go of, that we won't get over. And sometimes it's hard to get over things that we're still mad at. Where it's, sometimes it's hard to move past things that go away and end, even though we don't have good feelings for them. And so there's a big lesson in all of this energy for you, because it's almost like even though we didn't like it or it made us feel bad, it was still there. And now, over the course of the next few months, it's going away. And there may be, that story begins following the 7th. On the 12th of the month, we've got Mercury retrograding. It turns retrograde in Virgo in your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one relationships. And remember, that's your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate. And Mercury retrograde is talking about reevaluating these relationships. That one or two may stick out in particular, that is a cluster of people. But we do actually have a reevaluation or a reassessment going on of what it means to be in that relationship and the role that we have. This can actually bring people from your past back to you. It could be an old best friend, an old romantic partner, an old business partner. And from the 12th to the 31st, we may not necessarily be bringing them back to keep them in our lives, but we may be actually having them come back into our lives as a compare and contrast with what we have now, or where we're going now. It could go either way. With Mercury retrograde in the 7th house, however, it may also be important to pay attention that, between the 12th and the 31st is not a time to make anything official, whether it's romantically or professionally. Don't bring on that permanent new roommate. Don't incorporate with your business partner. Don't make something official during a Mercury retrograde. The energy is wonky. It's unstable. If you can't wait that 3 weeks to play it safe, or maybe it's unstable as it is, and this is going to help get that settled so it can become official in a better way, in a way that'll last the test of time. On the 21st of the month, we do have a solar eclipse in Leo. Okay, in that 6th house of work, reputation, and all that good stuff. And when we look at a solar eclipses are the beginnings. Okay, lunar eclipses are the endings. Solar eclipses are the beginnings. And this could be a new job, this could be a new role, this could be a higher paying gig coming your way, and the journey to this begins on the 21st. But again, eclipse energies, the prime eclipse energies are going to be going through November, and we could be actually having you train for a whole new role, a whole new job. If you work for your own business, you may be incorporating a whole new service. You may be updating all of your software, updating all of your all of the investments that you've been putting into it, and you're actually churning out a bigger, a bigger project, or a bigger product for yourself. Solar eclipse here can be wonderful for our earning power. The 6th house is one of the 3 main earnings sectors, and so this could actually be a new beginning that actually does yield a big harvest as we get closer to, again, October and November. So, so keep that in mind. On the 22nd of the month, we do have the Sun moving into Virgo, into that 7th house of partnerships and close one-on-one relationships. And the Sun talks about putting a spotlight on how we can get more out of these tight bonds that we have. Whether it's how we can get more out of the relationships in terms of making them have, getting more productivity. Is this relationship churning out more or doing more? Is it performing better? Are we trying to get, again, are we trying to heal some rough spots or rough patches? The Sun is also talking about bringing a bit more innocence, bringing a bit more fun, a bit more relaxation, a bit more enjoyment into a relationship. Even if it's a business relationship, even if it's a roommate situation, if it's all business or it's all about the roles and everyone has to do a job, you still got a situation where you still don't have the glue that really holds it together. And the Sun in Virgo is talking about how do we become, create a relationship that's emotionally available to have it all, with all of these types of relationships in our 7th house as it rules. And so you're going to be getting a lot closer to a lot of people. You're going to have a tighter circle, a tighter ship surrounding you, and it's all getting built between the 22nd of August and the 3rd week of September. On the 25th of the month, we've got Saturn turning direct in your 10th house of career and upward mobility. And, you know, over the last few months, a lot of Sagittarius people have been enjoying a bit of a break when it comes to Saturn being retrograde. You know, you may have gotten a few, you may have gotten away with a few things, helping bolster your career, bolstering your work. But I've noticed a lot of Sagittarius, not Sag, I was thinking of Saturn in Sag, a lot of Pisces people, you know, also having a hard time kind of breaking out of a recurring cycle when it comes to jobs, when it comes to career. And that tends to happen because when Saturn's in the 10th house, we kind of hit this glass ceiling, you know, and it's like, okay, this pays okay, but when's the raise? When's the promotion? When's this? You know, it's a different kind of energy. And with Saturn starting now its last legs of its journey through Sagittarius, it'll be leaving this area of your astrology chart in December, funny enough, for a good, you know, 28 years. This is going to be an opportunity for you to find out, okay, what is, you know, what we're missing? What are we missing when it comes to actually having the career, having the role, having the designation that we want and deserve when it comes to our career? There's going to be a lot of tests, a lot of challenges, and you need to be able to accept them all. Because Saturn is going to, it's finals month, or I guess you could say the finals quarter, finals semester, for a lot of people. And with Saturn in the career sector, look over the last 2.5 years of your career. You know, look over the last 2.5 years. What are the mistakes we've made? What was going well? What was not going well? Because you're going to see that in the beginning, Saturn did kind of help you out in a lot of ways, you know, 2015 time, and, you know, sometimes what happens is Saturn takes his hands off the wheel and then we end up in a ditch and we got to get ourselves out. And so Saturn's going to, you know, kind of get us back on the road, but we need to pay attention. There's going to be a lot of those challenges on repeat. But because you advanced, you're going to be able to fix those challenges much faster. You can fix what went on for a month in a week, now that you've actually come this far. On the 26th of the month, we've got Venus entering Leo, again, your 6th house of work, reputation, physical health. And this is definitely talking about attracting, I guess you could say, people of higher caliber within your field of work to you. Okay, surrounding yourself with a higher caliber of people. And also, again, to a degree, working on your physical health. Because Mercury is going to retrograde back into that area as well, into your 6th house. And it's a wonderful opportunity to, you know, to redo, retry, or start over again on some kind of exercise or therapy routine, whether it's to enhance your physical appearance, to lose weight, or anything along those lines. Try not to make any permanent changes or even semi-permanent changes over the course of the Mercury retrograde in this area, but Venus in this area is also saying, don't worry, you know, this will all have some payoffs. I would probably say, you know, just a new routine is good enough, a new exercise routine, all of those things. It seems to be working a lot more on trying to get your health on track or fixing what may have gotten off track earlier this year. If something got off track, looks like closer to possibly late January, early February, a lot of those things are going to start to get wrapped up, or, you know, or finally do their 180 and turn around. So that is your horoscope, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.